Salute is a program for and about men and women who have served our country. Our program includes news about the laws that affect veterans, information on benefits and services, and news from veterans organizations. And now, our host, Bob Peters.
Hello and welcome to Salute. I'm your host, Bob Peters, and with me is a Navy veteran, Mark Williams, and his beautiful daughter, Chloe. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you.
I'd like to start out with a little bit about you, Mark. This show is called Salute. It's about veterans issues. Where were you born? And I understand you were Navy, right?
Yes, I was born in Coral Gables, Florida in 1969.
So you're a native.
So I'm a native Floridian.
There aren't many of them.
We're few and far between. Yes, I grew up in Coral Gables and moved from Coral Gables out into the Redlands, which is in Homestead. It's rural South Florida. And we made it through high school. And after high school, I decided to join the Navy and went to basic training in Great Lakes, Illinois. And right after that, I was assigned to the USS Forrestal and VAW 122, which is a early warning aircraft squadron. And we were based out of Naval Air Station, Norfolk. So I was on the USS Forrestal for approximately 4 years, and we were involved in many operations where we started off our first med deployment. We were in Operation Desert Shield, and we stayed on in Desert Storm, and then Operation Provide Comfort. Provide Comfort was, we were still doing air ops to fly around, making sure that the Iraqis stayed out of Kuwait, and provided comfort for the Kuwaitis. So after that little deployment, we went back to Norfolk, and about 3 months later, we're dispatched down to South America, Panama for Operation Just Cause. And we stayed in Panama, South America for a while. After we got Manuel Noriega out of South America, we stayed around and did drug interdiction, where we were catching the smugglers flying from South America trying to get to South Florida, and we interdicted the drug flow coming into South Florida. So a very busy time in the 5 years that I was in total, and pretty much the best time of my life. I really enjoyed being in the Navy and working for VAW 122.
Usually somebody, when they get in for 5 years, to make it a career. You chose not to do that?
I chose not to continue because I was starting a family. And being a Navy man, you're you're pretty much haze gray and underway, as we call it, and which is a good time. Once you say your goodbyes and you get on the ship, you get into a normal routine, start your job, start getting focused on the task at hand, and the time pretty much goes by really quick. But then you get the letters from home when things are happening back home, and to a lot of our guys that are out there right now and away from their families, I can personally really feel what they're going through. And it's
both ways. I mean, we got the women serving out there too.
Absolutely.
And their spouses are home and vice versa. And it is very difficult, and we really do appreciate what the men and women do, especially nowadays. I mean, there's multiple deployments,
Absolutely.
So it's really a strain.
It sure is.
Yeah. You were on the aircraft carrier. How long were you out to sea?
A normal deployment when I was in was approximately 6 months. Sometimes you would get extended for a month or two, depending on operational adjustments that they had to do while we're out and underway. But yes, the normal deployment was about 6 months.
I was on one aircraft carrier. It was one from World War II, the Yorktown.
Oh.
Over in Charleston, South Carolina. And I can just imagine what the newer ones are like. I mean, it's a city, really, isn't it?
It is. It's like a floating city. I was on the Forrestal for approximately 3 years into being on the Forrestal, and one day I was standing in the chow line, and I heard a young man's voice behind me say, "Mark," and in the military, you don't use your first names. So when I heard that, I turned around, and here it was, a guy I played high school football with, and we had been on the same aircraft carrier for 3 years and hadn't seen each other.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. We just had a guy that's on a show that was on the Forrestal also.
Oh, wow.
He used to fly off of their F9s and F11s or something. I think that's what it
Right. So probably Vietnam era. Or
was.
before.
He was in between, I think. But anyway. But you have a picture of the bird that you were with, right?
Yes, I do.
So you can show that to us.
The squadron I was with was, like I've said before, was VAW 122, and it was a E2C Hawkeye was the name of the bird I was on. It was made by the Grumman Company, and they were pretty old, so it took a lot of maintenance. I was on the maintenance end. I was an enlisted man, and let's see, when I first started off as a E2, I was the plane captain, which we were responsible for prepping the aircraft for flight, doing pre-flight inspections and post-flight inspections, basically launch and recovery of the aircraft. Pretty big responsibility for a young man at the age of 18, 19 years old, and that's what we were.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's for like, that big thing on the top is what, for radar, sonar, or what is that?
Correct. That's what's called the rotodome, and that's the active radar. And once it gets up into flight, the rotodome rotates. And the 3 officers in the back seats here are looking at big scopes. And you have the 2 pilots up front, and then you have the 3 radar operators in the back. And they're looking at scopes, and it's basically like a flying air traffic control, if you will. And they can spot all types of things from very far away.
Do you know all this, Chloe?
No.
No. Well, you do now. You had a citation or something too.
Oh, yeah, I was digging through the files. This is something that I was proud of. When I first got in, I was 19 years old, and I was plane captain. It was one of the first major jobs I had in the military, and I was quite proud of it. And this is my certification. It says I was by Commander Huber, and I had qualified as a certified plane captain at the rank of E2. So, kind of a really neat accomplishment at that age.
Well, I thank you for your service, sir.
It's my pleasure.
We got another issue here which we want to talk about, which has to do with this beautiful young lady. Chloe, you're how old now?
8.
You're 8 years old?
Yes.
Oh. And you live here in Leesburg?
Mm-hmm.
And you go to school where?
Mineola.
Mineola.
It's around there somewhere.
Grassy
Yeah.
Lake.
Dad's whispering in your ear. Mark, you got out of the Navy, like you said, you started a family.
Right.
I had the pleasure of meeting you at the Eagles, 4273 in Okahompa. You were brought to my attention by a couple of fellows that are members there. And we got to know each other pretty good. I asked you to come on the show, and I'd like you to talk a little bit about Chloe, and Chloe's, what's been going on with Chloe. And we have a little video, which at this time we're going to just take a look at. It's called Chloe's Wedding, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
When I first started working at Arnold Palmer Hospital, always the youngest on the team has to take call over Christmas. So on Christmas Eve, I got called because there was a young girl, 4 years old, who came in to the emergency room the night before with vomiting and headaches and trouble walking. And when we did some MRIs of her brain, she was found to have a brain tumor. And I remember going into the family's room on the 24th of December to have to tell them that their daughter had a brain tumor and that it was a malignant, cancerous brain tumor. And I'll never forget that the dad said to me, he said, will I ever get to walk my daughter in her wedding? I said to him at that point, I said, I don't know, but we're going to try damn hard to make that happen. She had 3 surgeries to remove the tumor because it kept growing back. She underwent chemotherapy for over 1.5 years. She's been off of therapy now for 6 months, and she's actually doing great. She doesn't have any evidence of the tumor whatsoever. She's back in school, happy, playful. And I remember that I told the father, I said, the only thing I ever want is to be able to go to her wedding one day. He told me a couple of weeks ago that he was planning to have me walk her. When that dad gives me a call and tells me to walk Chloe down the aisle for her wedding, I'll probably retire after that, because I don't think there could be a greater high or sense of fulfillment after that. It's the truth, though. It's just, what else after that? Yeah.
So, Chloe, how you doing now?
Good.
Yeah? Yeah, so at this fundraiser, you tell us a little bit more about what's going on with Chloe so that we'll understand.
Okie dokie. In 2009, Chloe was diagnosed with a brain tumor. The whole story starts off, originally we thought Chloe had the flu. We were at Universal Studios. Life was going hunky-dory for us. Chloe was 4 years old at the time, and she was born perfectly healthy. 10 fingers, 10 toes, ahead in her class.
And a beautiful smile.
Oh, a beautiful smile, yeah. Absolutely. And let's see, she was 4 at Universal Studios watching The Grinchmas, and she told me, "Daddy, I'm sick. I don't feel good." So I took her out to the car, and she, for the next 24 hours she had vomiting. We took her to the emergency room. They gave her a IV. She perked right up. We took her back home. She didn't break the fever, though, and we woke up the next morning, Chloe's eyes were crossed. And when she got up to use the restroom, she bumped into walls and was having trouble walking. We immediately went back to the emergency room. They did an emergency CAT scan and came in and told me to sit down. That was a hard day. We went to Arnold Palmer Hospital immediately. They took Chloe by ambulance to Arnold Palmer. I'm sorry. And they did their first resection. This was December 22nd was her first resection of 2009. Christmas Eve was as you guys will see in the video, or have seen in the video, was when the doctor came in and told me my daughter has cancer. Mm-hmm. Since then, she's had 4 brain surgeries to resect the tumors, and she's had a total of 44 radiation treatments and approximately 2 years of chemotherapy. We had 26 months of remission, which was good, up until this March of 2013. We got a bad MRI. So we got back into the fight, and we're back into it. We're being treated at Arnold Palmer Hospital and St. Jude in Memphis, Tennessee. And we're back, we're fighting again. Chloe just got, she's 36 days post-op of the 4th tumor that was resected. Mm-hmm. And we're fighting, and we're gonna continue to fight. And Chloe's a fighter. And that's what we do. September happens to be September is Pediatric Cancer Awareness Month. And we really wanted to come on and talk about that as well, and let everybody know that pediatric cancer is out there, unfortunately. And as a dad who's been through the military and through a lot of stuff in the military, I wasn't totally aware. I knew cancer was there, but it really didn't hit home for me that children get sick with cancer.
Yeah, everybody thinks that somebody that smoked a lot of years and they're in their 70s and 80s, but yeah, cancer has no boundaries.
That's very well said. It doesn't.
But I
So-
tell you, she's looking good. She's looking very pretty.
Today she's in 3rd grade, and I thank the Lord she's in 3rd grade in Arnold Palmer Hospital, and St. Jude Medical Research Hospital in Memphis is making this possible. We still have a tumor that is present that we're treating with chemo right now, and we're keeping a close eye on it. We do go to St. Jude in 6 more weeks for another MRI. Chloe has MRIs done every 2 months because it's such an aggressive tumor.
That's a lot of traveling and a lot of expense.
Yes, sir, it is.
And kind of what we want to talk a little bit about here. I met you, as I said, at the Eagles, and you know, they were pretty good to you.
They were very good to me. I wanted to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, my wife, that the Eagles did what they did. The Fraternal Order of the Eagles and the Okahumpka branch, if you will.
Airy.
The Airy. I want to
it
thank
Airy.
them all very much for what they've done for us. It was a huge help.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little later. But first, we have this beautiful young lady over here. So how do you like school, my dear?
It's awesome.
Yeah? Yeah. You, what would you say, 3rd grade?
Yes,
Yeah. Are you the smartest kid in the class?
pretty much.
Really? Modest, huh? Yeah. So it's been a long, hard fight for you, but you're doing great, and I know you'll continue to do great. You know, traveling must get to you a little bit, going back and forth, huh? What, do the people up there treat you nice? Yeah. Get all the ice cream you want and everything, or what? Maybe I'll go with you. I like ice cream. Yeah. So, right now, as I was talking to you before, when I met you at the Eagles, you said everything was going great. She was in remission. You bought a house. Everything was great. Then all of a sudden, you lost your job.
Yes.
And what is your occupation? What do you do in case somebody's out there looking to hire you?
I'm a landscaper, and I've been in landscaping now for approximately 17 years, and I have my higher education in landscaping. I enjoy landscaping and working with my hands and being out in the sunshine and making Central Florida look nice.
So you work like at a golf course? You told me you were like in the management end of it, or
I was in the management end of landscaping. That's pretty much what I do. I manage. The last job I had, I managed about 172 employees. So,
Wow, so you didn't just get out there and rake the leaves, right?
no, sir, but I will, and that's what
need
I
be,
do.
yeah.
Yeah, if need be. I lead by example, and that's something that the Navy instilled in me, and I don't think I'll ever lose that.
Yeah, and I met your wife and your son. You have a nice, handsome son there too.
Thank you.
And we're hoping everything, well, we know it all will.
Yes.
You know, and but you've established a website.
Yes, I have. I've established a website for Chloe, and it's basically it's teamchloe.org, and you can go on the website and watch Chloe's progress and see what's going on in Chloe's life. And we're actually going to have Chloe start blogging and putting in her own entries as well, in her words. And there's many pictures on there. There's a link to Chloe's video. And there's also a link if anybody cares to help Chloe out with some of her medical bills. There's a link for You Caring. You just go on to teamchloe.org, click on the link for You Caring. It says Donate Now, and you can donate anything that's comes across your heart, and it will all be going towards Chloe's medical expenses.
Yeah, because it's a little pricey, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Things can get pricey. A 4-year battle tends to empty out all the coffers.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but again, thanks to good people like the Eagles.
Well,
know,
I got a
there's a
feeling
lot.
you're going to hear after this show. You'll probably hear from some more people. So you're going to do it. You're going to be on the computer, and if I sent you a message, you're going to get back to me and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would.
You're excited about doing that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still working on my typing.
Oh, yeah? How about your spelling?
Yes, I'm a really good speller.
Are you? I'll bet you are. I bet you are. What are your hobbies? Do you have any hobbies?
I pretty much like riding my bike and exercising.
Mm-hmm. You do karaoke too?
Yes.
Yeah.
But not when my parents are around.
Oh, I see. Is that because they asked you?
Nah, I'm just
Nah,
a
you're a little shy.
older.
A little shy, huh? Okay. Well, listen, we do have a gentleman here, sitting here, and we talk about the Eagles. He has a little something for you he'd like to give to you now. I'd like to introduce at this time Mr. Ted Keating, who is the president of the Veterans Committee. Veterans Committee. And he's also the chaplain there. And on behalf of the Eagles, he'd like to come in and say a couple of words. So, Mr. Keating. He's a little camera shy. Help him out, Chloe.
I'd be glad to. Well, again, it's my pleasure to meet you again.
Yes, sir.
Glad to see you again, young lady. You won everybody's heart, seriously. As Bob said, I'm the chaplain, but we just do our good things for people, all we can do. Our motto is people helping people, of course, and we try the utmost to do it. And the members are behind us 100%. We have a Veterans Committee with Bob's on, a couple other people, and we've done stuff for the veterans, and like Adopt a Soldier. We do that, and we send money every month to alleviate some of the postages and other things we've done for the veterans. But mostly, our main concern is helping people and doing what we think is right. And most of the time, it turns out to be right, and most of the time, it turns out to be good luck for the people we help. And that's what we're praying for that for you too. I'd like to present this check to you.
Oh, wow.
And best of luck.
Thank you.
And Chloe,
Thank you
best
very
of luck.
much.
Can I give you a little kiss?
Yes.
Like Continental, you know what I mean? Okay, take care. Thank you, Bob.
I thank you,
Thank you very much.
Ted, and thanks to the Eagles, 4273 Okahumpa,
Absolutely.
and our Veterans President, Mr. Ted Keating, who's also an Army vet. We won't hold that against him. So what are you doing now? What's going on now that you've got the website set up and you got to go back up again, right?
Yes, we're gonna, about approximately 6 more weeks, we're going back up for, like I was saying, the MRI. And everything's gonna go good, so it'll only be a 3 or 4 day stay. But we have the teamchloe.org up, so everybody can keep an eye on
Like keeping you awake. That's the way I was in school.
Yeah.
As I like to say, all of our prayer warriors and all of our teammates that are along with us in this fight can look at the teamchloe.org and see how things are going, how things are progressing in the positive direction. So,
Yeah, and hopefully, somebody could be calling. We can get you a job, and I know things will turn out okay.
absolutely.
So I think we're pretty much running out of time here because I think somebody's going to fall asleep on me. You don't fall asleep on me, are you? Okay, so I know you have any final statement you would like to say on behalf of your family towards, a lot of great people helped you out there, didn't they?
Absolutely, they sure did. And on behalf of the entire Williams family, I would like to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Eagles and everybody out there that has helped us and been with us in this fight. And especially Bob, you've been a huge help in my life. And I really appreciate it. And Lakefront TV for having us on. I really appreciate them bringing us on and letting my little beautiful daughter get on TV and let her face brighten up everybody's day.
It did. That's for sure. It did. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna have to say goodbye now. Unless Chloe, you want to say anything before we go?
No, not
Do you want
really.
to tell me how handsome I am or anything?
Well, actually, I pretty much have 2 brothers,
Oh, you do.
Brian and Zach.
Yeah. You want to tell me about them?
Well, Brian doesn't really live with us. Is he in college anymore?
He's
or-
graduated college.
He's
Wow.
graduating.
Wow. And your other brother goes to school next to you.
Yes.
Well, Chloe, you are a beautiful young lady, and I know things will work out, and you're going to have to keep in touch with me and Mr. Keating. So I'm out of time. So I'm going to have to say goodbye. So on behalf of to all our veterans out there, active military and their families, we salute you for all you do. Till next time. This is our 4th year at Lakefront TV. We're still looking for guests, and we'd love to have you on. We're proud of what we've done in the past. So give us a call at 352-728-9707 and check us out on the internet at lakefronttv.com. Spread the word and enjoy the show.